Hello.
I
Yes,
can
sir.
hear you. It's just like really hard to understand.
Enunciate your words, Anderson. Enunciate.
No, it sounds like whatever he's talking into is muffling him.
Or he might be
see what you did.
That's the goulash.
he might be too close to the mic.
Hello.
That could
Hello?
also be it.
Hello. Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, much better.
Oh yeah.
Much better.
Repeat your question.
I didn't change anything, so.
Okay, that's going off the rails. All right, let's get this started. So we can all get back to our loved ones. Right now, as we know, we're gonna be talking about Devilman. This is the DDIC podcast, anti-podcast, because we don't like us either. We don't live on hills, we die on them, baby. So yeah, let's not waste any more time. Anderson, what are your thoughts on this series?
I liked it a lot. It used to be one of my favorite shows, but after rewatching it for like the third time now, it's kind of more easy to see the flaws with it. I still think it's really good, but it's definitely kind of weak, especially in the beginning and middle parts. The ending for me is what makes it, and that's still one of my favorite endings. And
That's what makes it.
Yeah, I think Rio is like an excellent antagonist as well. So dynamic between him and Akira really, I think, is really well done. Yeah, overall, it's pretty good.
Calm. And what are these flaws that you've now just started seeing?
Some of the writing is just kind of bad in the beginning. Like a lot of the dialogue between Akira specifically is kind of like just not well done. Then there's like scenes like, I mean, when his mom and his dad die at the airport, like, or in the bus, is it in the bus or they're in a plane, right? When they die, I think. I can't remember.
I think they get off the onto the airport
plane.
bus. Maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Like after rewatching that whole sequence, like that scene, it was kind of like the character interactions were just kind of weak, and the dialogue was kind of bad. So there were like moments like that throughout the show, but it also just gets kind of boring and stagnant towards the middle. But then it revs up like the last two episodes. So.
But you still think the ending is what saves it. Well, not saves it, but you like it.
Yeah. That's one of the best endings.
One of the best endings. What, top 10, top 5?
Probably top 10.
Top 10 end. Oh, okay.
Dude, that's what makes the show. That's what literally inspired like Golden Age arc, Berserk. Like,
true. But I can give it credit for inspiring something that was done much better.
Oh, of course.
You know, but credit can only get you so far, mate.
I guess.
That's what I'm gonna say. But
today.
Yeah. Fair enough. Levi, what are your feelings towards the show as a whole?
I like it. I would say definitely the ending is the strong point. I also appreciate the symbolism is always nice, and there's definitely like a whole bunch of different ways you can interpret it. So basically anybody who watches it could take something out of it than somebody else.
And what did you take out of it?
Don't become friends with the devil. And yeah.
So don't become friends with the devil. I mean, fair enough. Maybe you could have said something about, humanity should love each other and not thrive off hate.
Well, that's the easy way out. That's the easy answer.
Or maybe inspired you to join a track team. Do relay.
Not really.
Okay. Fair enough. As for myself, yeah, I liked it. After rewatching it, I don't like it as much as I did the first time around. Not particularly sure why, but I still think it's a good show. I think it should have been longer though, because I think the ending is really rushed, and there's a lot of elements that should have been developed more, especially the characters, because some of the characters I would have liked to spend a bit more time with, so I could become invested in their story and them. So when the ending did happen, when everybody dies, I would have been a bit more sad. I was still sad, especially when the rapper dudes died. That was very sad, man. They deserved better. But you know, it was all very shocking, and but it all seemed to all happen pretty quickly. I think if I had a good like 26 episodes or so, I think this could have really been really up there in the upper echelon of animes. Could have really, really cemented itself as one of the greats. But I don't know if it was just the budget or whatever. Maybe they ran out of money, or I don't know why it wasn't a bit longer. Especially when the previous two anime adaptations, I think it was split into two parts. I can't remember. I watched them, but I think it was split into two parts, so it was much longer. I enjoyed that too, to be honest, because I watched both of them. But yeah, I think it should have been longer. Needed a bit more character development, maybe a bit more better writing, just so I could care a bit more. But still a good show. Very, very decent, much decent. So yeah, Dan, your thoughts?
So I watched the show a while ago. I had a very negative initial reaction to it. I've like softened up a little bit. I still don't like it that much. But I do think it's not as bad as I like thought it was. One thing that still kind of irks me though is that there are a couple parts of the story I'm like the character decisions don't make a ton of sense. But part of what I find really unsatisfying is that the story is about Rio and not Satan. Because I feel like the show would be much more interesting if it's coming from Satan's point of view. Because when we come from it from Rio's point of view, it just feels like pessimism for the sake of it. And it tends to fall into that really generic trope of like, humanity is actually bad and da 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 da. And if you gave people a chance, they would only choose to be bad people. And I'm like, this is not that interesting of an idea to me anymore. Especially because I don't find it.
Sorry to interrupt. Do you mean we should have followed it from Rio's point of view instead of Akira's point of view? Because you said, is that what you meant? We should follow it from Rio's point because Rio's Satan.
I always get everyone's names wrong. Which one is Satan and which one is the human?
Rio is Satan and Akira is the human / Devilman.
Okay, I think we should be following it from
Rio.
Akira. Wait, Satan is Rio.
Yeah, Satan is Rio. Yeah.
Okay, I think we should be following it from Rio's point of view.
Oh, okay.
I think that is a lot more interesting, to be honest.
For why? Why is it because of his backstory, the fact that he is Satan, and you just want to know how he got to why his plan, why he did this, and so on and so forth?
Well, it's a little bit of the backstory, but when it's Satan versus God, it makes the territory of sort of Earth falling between either surviving or being destroyed a much more interesting battleground. But when it's just like humanity being pessimistic, I just find it really uninteresting because then the only outcomes are humanity. The only outcome of the show is humanity is bad and deserves to be destroyed, or humanity is good and deserves to be saved. And I think those are both really boring. But when it's about Satan, it's all about his character arc. It's about how this idea of Satan interacts with the world's idea of God. I feel like there are a lot more interesting things that go on.
I mean, that is a fair point. That is, I guess Akira is one of them. One of the, yeah, I have mixed opinions on like Akira because I think it was Svat who doesn't. Svat who said he wanted to know a bit more about him as well. Was it? You didn't find him that interesting? Is that Is that right, Spot?
I think it's more for like just to see what he was before the transformation, because you don't see much of it in the actual show. I mean, if he's not an interesting character, then you wouldn't want to see more of it. That's why I'm not quite sure if I would necessarily, now that I think about it. But you know.
Yeah, but I guess Dan does bring up a good point about, I don't know, maybe the whole humanity being bad or humanity being good, and it being coming from a more one-dimensional viewpoint, especially that ending. But then again, I guess you could interpret that ending a bunch of different ways. Was that ending meant to signify humanity being bad, or was it?
Well, that's part of why I don't like. I actually really like the ending because I think it's. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like refreshing. I just like. I like it when someone chooses the hard way out for a story, instead of like I like that it didn't turn the round of like and everyone won with the power of friendship, and that was like I like that it was like everyone died. That's the end of the story. Everyone died.
Yeah, but what
But
does that
I don't
mean?
like that it focused on Rio trying to like save humanity because then I was like, it makes the story's purpose whether or not the Earth survives, which becomes really boring when you realize either it does or it doesn't. And then you're like, okay, I'm just watching content that I know. I already know the ending of the story.
So wait, so Rio was trying to save humanity. Was he trying to save humanity?
No.
Yeah.
Wait.
You mean Akira?
Yeah,
The
you mean
human was trying to save humanity.
Oh, see, no, you getting me confused. Okay, yeah, Akira was trying to save humanity. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay,
But
now yeah, that
I
makes sense.
think when that becomes the story, it then a lot of the character tension I just don't care about. And what I found most interesting in this story was that like Satan was this idea that was totally primordial, just been here the whole time. And that the idea of like demons originally had Earth and then this God figure removed them and put humanity. I think that's super interesting. But I think it's really interesting for the idea of like, you know, the demons are trying to like take back what was quote unquote originally theirs. I think that's really fascinating. But when it becomes like when the story changes instead of like something about like the demons or how Satan is interacting with God and Earth, when it becomes like a shonen of the week where they're trying to save the Earth and it just ends negatively, I just lose interest.
I mean, there are ways to do that. Those types of stories, you know. Yeah, I guess
think there
that
are
more
ways to do
generically.
it. I just don't think this particular story does it.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair, especially with the subject matter. I think they could have done a bit more of just the ending and just the way how things play out, which is kind of what I thought was gonna happen when I first watched it. But yeah, kind of towards the end, kind of turns into hero of the day, saves the day, good versus evil type shit, which can be really good and interesting, but just really how you do it, really, especially since we've seen it so much.
And I think I'm a little harder on the show because I know it's trying to use like more complicated topics and more like I guess I don't want to say complicated, but like topics that aren't usually in a shonen of the week type thing. So I'm expecting it to come at it with like a certain level of maturity that I don't think it did.
I think it did at times, but towards the ending, no. But I think throughout the series, near the beginning and the middle, I think it did delve into some of those topics. But yeah,
I also feel like I
do
have to
agree
mention
with
I'm very bored of like shock sexuality where it's like, oh my god, there's tits and they're in a club and everyone's sexual. Like I'm just not interested in that anymore.
Yeah. Fair enough. But nice. Thank you, Dan.
I would say
Go ahead,
one thing
Coach.
to mention is like the context of when the original manga was released. So at the time, there wouldn't have been these kind of these kind of storylines, but it has become more dated as time's gone on, just because there's just been anime that have affected it, if you will, like Berserk.
Yeah, they should have remixed it a bit. Yeah, they should have looked at the sign of the times and just instead of just relying on its subject matter, developed it a bit more. Obviously, they did modernize it to current day, but yeah, they could have gone a bit further with that. So yeah, good point. Okay, Ray, what are your thoughts on the series?
My thoughts are they are gay. Those are my
Okay.
thoughts. Yes.
And anything else this time?
Take
Apart
the
from,
lead.
apart from anything else apart from they are gay? Because I think we all kind of get that vibe. You know, there's a certain amount of tension there, but you know, that could just be
Yes, I am.
friendship, power of friendship, mate. All right, it doesn't have to be gay. It's power of friendship.
No, that's really something. Because Satan really went out of his way to turn a whole human, like somebody. This is a race of people who he really didn't care about. Like he was
Okay.
dead, killing people left and right. Like he didn't care about them.
Okay.
But he decided to save one of them.
Yes.
According
That's
to
his
him.
friend.
According to okay, all right. I
Yeah,
suppose.
mate. If you know somebody from childhood and they're the only friend and you know, they're the only one who didn't think you were weird because when he was a kid, he was a bit of a weirdo and an outcast. And then you have this kid, Akira, who doesn't look at you that way. You know, you're gonna cherish that friendship, even if you are Satan and you want to, you know, destroy everything and kill all humans. You know, even towards the end, even we saw, even Satan has a heart. Even Satan gets lonely. Still don't know what that. I still don't know what that was. I mean, it's supposed to show. Yeah, he has feelings, so he does have some humanity in him. But I don't know what that kind of overall message was for the end of the show. But you know, it's there. It's included. So
Okay, so this is my thing. This is my second time watching this anime, and I have to say I don't really like it. Because first, when Satan starts to explain about how before humans, like the demons were the ones who inhabited the earth, it made it seem as if they were like almost like savages. Like they would kill for survival. Like it was very much survival of the fittest. Like that's what it was giving. But then afterwards, it was giving demons have emotions to. Celine died. She was in love with Amon, and then the other dude was in love with Celine. And then Satan is sad because his only friend died. So it's like, but at first they made it seem like these devils and these demons, like they had no emotion whatsoever. It just seemed very contradictory to me, and that part was like never made clear. But also, can we talk about why is it that there can never be gay people who just live and exist? Like there's always has to be a tragic shit attached to it. Like fucking Spike and Vicious, and then the two guys from Banana Fish, and then now Satan and fucking what do you call him, Akira. Like my dude, can they just like not die or be a part of some tragic, like just let them rock, let them be. You don't got to do all that extra shit. Like I don't know.
I agree
That's
with
all I have
all
to
of this
say.
commentary.
So you gotta watch Slice of Lives with gay characters.
essentially, yeah. And the characters you mentioned, I don't think any of them were gay, by the way. But you know,
But you know what
I
I'm
mean,
talking.
Banana
You know what I'm
Fish.
referring
yeah.
to.
Banana Fish wasn't. Yeah, Banana Fish was ambiguous because
Yeah, I guess.
they
But, yeah.
didn't want to go all the way with that.
But we all
But
know.
yeah.
We all know.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, we all know what's going on. Okay.
Yeah,
Banana
yeah, okay, sure. But yeah, but to your point about humans, that we were savages at one point, well, weren't we? We came from somewhere and then we
Let's
developed.
not say we were. Let's say we are. Okay,
We are
because
savages.
I live with animals at home. You're gonna come and tell me
Okay.
that we were savages? Come on now. But that's besides the point.
Wait, what?
Yeah, like literally, people are they not that we were savages. We are savages because like people are just animals. Like they're
It's in
just
our nature. Is that what you're saying?
well, but they're also annoying and not smart and really fucking dumb and sometimes very violent. Yeah, so like I'm driving with a fucking bunch of idiots on the street right now. Like these are all animals.
There it is. It's the road rage. There it is. It's the road rage. Yeah, I feel you, man. I feel you. Feel you. Okay. Well, thank you anyway. Thank you, Ray. Svat, your thoughts, please.
Overall, I do like this show. It's a fun watch. It's an entertaining watch. I really like the visuals, and I really like the end. It has grown on me. The first time I watched it, everything was a bit too rushed. Like the first part was too slow, and then like the ending was too quick. But now I appreciate like you have to accelerate things to reach the climax. And yeah, it is like
why? Why do
just
you have to
because
accelerate?
they spend too much time on the whole track anime, school anime shit.
So you're
It's
just happy
it's
he
kind of,
wasn't on track anime anymore.
I guess, yeah. But I think it is a good ending overall. Even the pacing issues aside, it is it does give you food for thoughts, and it does kind of conclude the story in a sad way, satisfying way. Depending on how you interpret it.
Hmm.
And there are
How
some
do you
interesting
interpret it?
characters, and I do agree with Dan that it probably would have been a bit better, having it be Satan as the protagonist rather than Akira. Because overall, I think he's a bit more of an interesting character. There's a lot more like things you can explore going that route.
Mm. But you said but how do you interpret the ending? What does it all mean?
Well, he destroys. I guess he destroys humanity, but then he learns something from humanity. That's kind of my like. I haven't really thought about it too much because it's like, well, everything's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my initial
That
thought. But
sucks.
I would have to like, look into it a bit more.
Just some psychoanalyzing. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Interpret
I think
it
there's a
as
lot of different.
oh wait, go ahead.
Oh no, I think that there's a lot of there's a lot of ways you can interpret it. There's not necessarily like a singular like this is how it ends way.
What a cop out. Cop out.
I'm not. Oh, well, this isn't like one of my favorite anime. I'm not gonna go into like a spiel about how it's.
No, not you. Just the one of those endings where it's like you can interpret it.
It's not really a cop
That
out
was-
ending because it does conclude the story, if you will.
Yeah.
I
guess so. True. I mean, fair
like a cop out
enough.
would be like doing the usual, try to extend it into a second season by by making an inconclusive ending. We don't know what happens. That sort of thing.
We kind of don't know what happens.
We don't, but no, we do. Yeah.
We don't. Fair enough. Thank you, Svat. Favorite moments. Favorite moments of the series. Let's have it, boys. What some moments that just stood out to you guys?
I like all the freestyles.
Freestyles. Oh yeah.
Anytime
Those are some
Ryu's riding a bike or riding a motorcycle, that shit's cool.
The music especially.
Yeah, the
music is
soundtrack
good, yeah.
is. I was gonna say I don't like the first 3 episodes very much. However, the part when just Ryu's just starts shooting into the bar to like initiate the like
killing
the
everybody.
whatever. I just thought I wasn't expecting that to happen. He just pulls out an AK and starts shooting everybody.
Anderson
I don't know.
condones
No, but what's your
terrorism.
favorite part?
I like when the dude with the glasses eats the bug. Like the first episode,
yeah.
That was very random. Girls thinking Akira's cool just because he changed his posture and starts wearing makeup. I think he's got like that black stuff around his eyes now, and he just starts watching porn on that big ass screen in school. That's gangster. The cow honking scene where when that girl is touching herself and yeah. I think it's not even a cow, it's like a donkey sound. That donkey like
Yeah, I read somewhere that that's an actual donkey sound. It's
what was
not
the
like
donkey sound?
Yeah, it's not like a man doing a donkey sound or like
Oh, it's an
Was-
actual donkey.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
Mad.
was one of the things that really destroyed the series for me because it made it seem so much dumber.
Hey, it's poetic, mate. It's poetic.
Is it? It feels very like, haha, girl sexuality isn't that bad. I'm like, okay.
Look, mate. It's
I really
poetic,
like the
and I
ending
appreciate
scene
it.
of them on like the little floating platform, and it's just him crying over his dead body.
Yeah, that was nice. That was sad. I
Like
did
that
feel
changed my rating from like a 2 to a 4.
2 to a 4. Oh my god, man. Jeez.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yikes. What do you think of that, Anderson? Go ahead.
Hold on.
See what you did. Made Anderson lead.
A big sip of the goulash.
Sorry, I had to scream real quick. I don't think it's just like compare the show to the other 2s and 4s that you give, and then tell me that it's a 2 or a 4. Because like
Ah.
Yeah.
for me, it's like a low 8. So
A low 8.
it's reasonable. Yeah,
Hello.
8.3, 8.25.
8.25. 8.25. Got the
I
decimal
don't think I
numbers
could
out.
give this anything higher than like a generous 6.
Generous.
I mean, listen,
no, it's not too. That's not too bad.
Yeah.
that's still
But I
blasphemous.
would
it's less
more
blasphemous.
appropriately rate it like a 4.
Oh yeah.
It's just
God, wow. Okay. Well, I was also gonna say the transformation scene in the club where he turns into the Devilman for the first time, and
iconic.
yeah, that fucking
Oh,
that was pretty epic.
yeah.
But yeah, those are mine. Anybody else got any more?
Well, I like the motorbike scene, where
Yeah.
like the final motorbike scene with Mickey and Akira.
Simp.
A nice moment. The
Like
outro playing as well.
Simp.
And
I
the
don't think
ending.
anyone talked about it, but did anyone else notice the scene, the sex scene in the sky? Like that was crazy to me.
Oh yeah, that was
Like
wild.
I want to try that shit.
I feel like you would just get vertigo because wouldn't you just be like under all that G-force?
I don't know.
Only one way to find out.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Got to see it through.
Nice.
I feel like that's one of those things that like it sounds appealing, then you actually do it, you're like, this is just really uncomfortable.
What, like Molly?
That's like cuddling.
Not that I've done Molly. Hey. No, not incriminating myself on here. No.
Oh, Nova, you little drug user, you.
Yeah. I plead the fifth, even though the fifth doesn't exist in the UK. But anyway,
I'm crying.
any more favorite moments, or is that it? Is that it for now? Okay, all right. Calm. Worst moments. By worst, I could mean genuinely bad moments, or just I'd guess most heartbreaking scenes, because there are a couple heartbreaking scenes in here, especially the one where that kid eats his own mother. That's pretty messed up. Where he turns into turn into that demon or Devilman, whatever he turned into. I don't know. I guess Devilman's like the mix of human, yeah, but demons are just full on killing things. So yeah, that was pretty sad. And then the dad screaming whilst he sees it. Pretty intense shit.
The I forgot the girl's name, but the bathtub scene where like the wall was one way, see through. That was very suspicious.
Yeah. Hey, mind your business, mate. It's called architecture. What?
Uh-huh.
No. It's called what is it? Oh, that's what it's called. It's called interior design.
Is that what you call it?
That's actually what it's called. Interior design.
You have one of those at home. Is this why you're
No.
saying this?
No.
No,
Not
but
yet.
there are a lot of questions being raised here, and I don't like any of them.
I'm just telling you what it's called. I don't know what you're trying to suggest. That's what I
For
thought.
me, worst moments of the show, worst moments of a show are like when it either contradicts the plot or contradicts the intentions of the story. And for me, this type of story is like really analyzing our ideas of morality and what it means to be human and what it means to be a community, da 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 da. But then it would have scenes that have such a teenage level of like what good and bad and morality is. Like, for example, like the donkey scene with the girl, a lot of pretty much any scene where they're showing boobs. It's very it like it either came across as like, isn't this sexy or isn't this scandalous? And I was like, for a
Well,
show that's trying to have this level, this a certain level of tone, it kind of really takes me out of it for like because it just felt so random and jarring and like it didn't belong in the story.
well, to be fair, I think there's a critique in the show. The show is trying to critique the kind of like the gratuitousness of like sex and violence, and it's like a commentary on it. Because so it's so in your face because it's supposed to be just so in your face. I don't think it's
My
trying
problem
to
is
be as edgy as it seems. I think, but what it is, but it isn't. You know, it's
My
trying
problem is
to.
not that the show is making a commentary on sex, is that it's really hypocritical about it because it'll be like, oh my God, it's bad that it's like so negative and debased that this stuff is happening, while showing it in a way that the audience is supposed to enjoy watching it.
Mm.
It's like having your cake and eating it too and being very hypocritical about the commentary. Like, if you're gonna be like this type of over sexual tendencies is bad, then like stand in your shit and don't put it in your show like that. But if you're going to also really frame so much of the story around it, it just comes across as like it comes across as those paintings that have like a naked woman and they title it Vanity, and it's like you drew the painting. You drew this.
Well, true. True. I guess. I mean, obviously, I
It's
don't
very
know.
like teenage boy navel gazing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it goes back to original point. I guess there is something. That's another thing. Maybe they could have done in maybe a different way. Yeah, as you said, maybe if they were gonna go down that path, they should have fully committed to it. But I guess there are points in the show where they're just trying to, I guess, in a way, kind of make you feel bad for, you know, I don't know,
They
enjoying
really
the
don't make
violence or
the viewer feel
enjoying
bad
the
though.
boobs. Well, I mean, there's times where because you obviously you get those fan service shots, but obviously there's a bunch of fan service shots. So is is it even fan service at this point, or is it just the creator just being like, yeah, you find this sexy, don't you? Huh? That's bad, and it's bad that you find this sexy.
The creator
Shame
being
on you.
horny, you mean?
Yeah, yeah. There's that too. It's just like I know
The
what
thing
you
is, there
like. Let me
are
show you what you like. You don't care about the message. You just care about the boobs and the violence, huh? I know what you like, and so it's kind of speaking to the viewer and just like, this is what you like, huh? You're gonna watch all of this and you're gonna enjoy it and you're gonna tell all your friends about it, and you're not really gonna understand the message. But what are you gonna remember? The boobs, and that's because I know you, you
well, the
filthy,
thing is,
filthy man
if they were
or
doing that,
woman.
I would have respected it. But I don't even think they're aware that that's a thing.
Oh, I
That's
think
how
they
it
are.
comes across.
I think on some level there's an awareness there, but at the same time they kind of know it's kind of a commentary, but it's also kind of a way to sell the show. So
Which
on
needs to
one
be because of having the type of show commentary.
hmm. Because 1 minute they're critiquing it, but the next minute they use it to sell the show. So that's why people on YouTube were talking about it and the articles written about it because like, look how horny and crazy this show is. And then maybe I'm not saying the creator did this, but maybe the creator was like, I know this is that's what's gonna get the headlines, and they're gonna ignore the actual message behind it and the humanity behind it and the deeper meaning. I'm gonna prove to the world that look, I'm gonna create this show that has so much deep symbolism and Bible stuff and God, and, topics of Satan and God and all that kind of stuff and humanity and all this stuff. But the only thing they're gonna be talking about is boobs and and violence. I'm not saying that's what he did or was trying to do, but it's what ended up happening. So if that was the intention, which I don't know if it was, then that is pretty swag. But
Well,
you
the
know.
thing is, if that was the intention, then to me it's even worse because it failed miserably, especially considering it, like, I think in like episode 6 or 7, it just completely drops fan service. Like, it just stops having like the abrupt high color, high contrast fan servicey scenes that it would have, and just stops having them with pretty much no sort of like plot or story reason as to why. It just seems like they just didn't feel like doing it anymore. Like if there was a storyline where it was like we had this fan service and maybe we're like going into the characters that we use as fan service and like why their situations exist or why it's bad that they were doing this, it would make more sense. But it's like they use the characters as fan service. Half of them they just killed off, and then it just never touches the topic again.
Well, what do you think? What do you think of that, Svat?
I think a part of it is that it's on Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't necessarily be able to put this kind of thing in a show that's on TV in Japan, for example. So a part of it is just them using their creative freedom to add this in because they can, because it's Netflix, so allow them to, right? But overall, I mean, in terms of the fan service, it is a bit inconsistent in that it's more or less dropped after like a certain episode. I think part of that might be just because they've ran out of time. To be fair, there's only 10 episodes and they have a lot of shit that they have to add, like in the final 3. But I would say a lot of it is more like, let's just add it because it resonates with teenage boys, if you will. The violence less so, but the fan service, But it is rare to see this kind of beauty scene in anime, so it is unique in that regard. Well, not unique, but it is like
True. Yeah, but that was a good talk. Good talk. Something else to think about. I don't even know where we were. Oh yeah, guess we can move on now. Unless somebody else has got anything else to add to this convo. Nope. Calm. Do we have any nitpicks? Any
Yes.
nitpicks for the show? What is your nitpicks for?
Okay. Why does no one realize that he's becoming? Why does no one in school realize that he's become a demon? Like, how can he just gain 4 inches, an incredible amount of muscle within like a day? It's not like it's not like he's out for 6 months and he comes back and it's like, oh man, this guy is doing a lot of the 6 months. No, it's just the next day at school, and his best friend, like he's living with her and she's like, yeah, oh, I see you've gotten a bit more muscular these days. Like, bro, yesterday you were racing with him and he was behind you. He was slow. Now he did a 10-second, 100 meter. Why is no one questioning that more? Why is no one being like, hey, bro, like, come on now.
Because mind your business. That's why. Right? Why are you opening his business for, huh?
Oh, and also, the running on 4 legs. Come on now, like make it a bit less, sus that you're a demon now. Running on 4 legs and then just standing up at the end. Probably people will notice.
I'm sorry, you a track star? How do you know that's not the new running technique?
Hey,
right?
I've watched I've watched many races during the Olympics before when I was a kid, and I didn't see anyone running on all 4s. And just, and they're the fastest in the world.
Okay, after thinking about Scott saying this, I have to agree, especially considering that the first part of this anime is kind of like doing a fake out where it's being a sports anime. In what sports world would someone becoming like jacked overnight not be like highly suspicious?
Exactly.
It would be
In
like,
sports
what?
anime. They take 3 seasons to do this in sports anime. They build it so slowly. They show you every moment where they're getting better, Now all of a sudden he's just mind pick.
You
Or
got
at least I
juiced
feel like
up
the
on
school would be like, are you
steroids.
Yeah. Tell him, Levi. Tell him.
Wait, what did Levi say?
You got juiced up on steroids.
That's what I mean. I feel like there should have been a scene where the school's like, are you on steroids? What is going on?
But it would have been so easy to just add that he comes back in 6 months and all of a sudden he's after adjusting to his body. She just goes to school the next day like nothing, nothing's changed. Like, yep, no one will notice. It's fine.
Called a glow up, right? As the kids call it.
I feel like if the show was longer, they would have had the time to explain that, but in 10 episodes, they just skipped over it.
Maybe they're hoping we wouldn't
Yeah,
notice
that's
because we're so used to anime, and we let a lot we let a lot of shit slide in anime.
I
So
guess.
I think
But
they'll
they
just
could have
kind of
added like a calendar and then time skips 6 months. It wouldn't have made any difference to the plot. And then it would have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
If
Oh, it
anything,
would
made
still
the
be a bit
plot-
like unrealistic, but
Actually, if anything, it would have made the plot make more sense if the demonic change didn't happen for everyone overnight, but it happened more slowly. Because then it would have seemed more like a deal with the devil than just like an immediate, like, this person is now superpower. You know? Because then it makes everything that they're doing a little bit more sinister. Because it's not just like a, oops, looks like I'm evil now. It's more like a, people change gradually type of thing.
true, but they didn't have enough episodes to do that, mate. So gotta take what we got, mate. Gotta take.
Look,
What we
when a
got.
show was like, "Oh, we didn't have enough episodes to do this," I'm like, that's not an excuse because I've seen plenty of shows do really complicated plots and things in like no time. It's just you just got to know how to pace what your show is.
Name the anime. I mean, I can, but I'm not. I did not you, man.
Well, I can think it immediately off the top of my head, but I've seen like shorter series where they really do pack quite a lot of story and character building in a short amount of
Yeah.
time just because they pace it correctly.
Ping
Tatooine
pong.
Galaxy, ping pong.
Madoka
Actually,
Magic.
Ping Pong was only
King-
like what, 11 episodes, 12 episodes?
Yeah.
I think it's
Ki-
11.
yeah.
On the top of my head.
Kino's Journey, Zero Experiments Lane.
Yeah,
Kino-
all of those had not a ton of episodes, but they packed a lot of story and a lot of character building and
Yeah.
did it in a way where like you were introduced to something and you understood what was going on. So I don't think that's an excuse to give a TV show.
Fair enough.
No excuses.
Thank you for that.
It is a strange one because it seems like a high budget show, with the visuals, but occasionally, the animation just goes from being really good to kind of to lazy. I'm not sure what it is. Is it like a high budget Netflix show, or did they just run out of budget at some point and they're like, okay,
No,
we
I
have to
think this
bring
is
things together.
Netflix. I think this was budgeted by Netflix Japan.
No, I don't know. I think it was outsourced. I think maybe another studio made it, and then Netflix just bought it and just put Netflix
That's
and then
usually-
upload.
Wow.
Yeah.
In this case, I think it was only on Netflix, so it didn't actually go on
Oh,
Japanese TV like they usually do when they have
That's
like
why I
weekly.
think it was part of Net. Like I think Netflix made it. Like it was in a Netflix studio, or at least like under the Netflix umbrella, where like they had the money to do so. Because this was also when Netflix was doing a bunch of other shows and animes that also had very high budgets, like that one with the gambling.
yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but
It's like the girl who's obsessed with gambling and like
Okay,
that's
Googly?
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Compulsive
the animation that show is like very expensive, and I think it's also a Netflix property, which makes me think that like Netflix either bought the show or either like bought the rights to make the thing and made it, or they were like involved in the making process with money.
Oh well. Shout out to Netflix. Hello, Netflix. If they're watching,
Contrast.
probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not watching. Hello, Netflix. I like what you're doing.
Have we done the rating yet?
No.
Oh.
Wait, are we rating these? I thought we weren't.
Yeah, of course we're rating them.
Oh, okay. Well, get ready for this one to take a dip because of mine.
I think this one, I can just check what the rating we gave it initially was. I'm actually very curious.
It's like a 7 point something, but
I don't remember it being higher.
I think it would have been 8 if it wasn't for mine.
I don't know about that. I think Svag gave it like a 7 as well. And so did I.
We gave it
so-
7.3, and
I think I gave it like a 4 or a 5.
Okay. Well, some things aren't gonna change. Okay. Character you would and would not invite to dinner, and why? Svat, let's go.
Who would I invite? I would invite Satan.
No, of course you would.
Yeah, why not, right? He seems like he's a smart guy.
You need
and he has a
Jesus,
lot of
mate.
wealth.
You need Jehovah's
But
Witness
there's
to
no
come
Jesus
to. Wait,
in
no,
this.
wait,
I mean,
no,
I
wait,
would invite
wait.
Jesus, but
Jehovah's
he's
Witness
not
is
here,
Jehovah.
is he, in this anime?
Wait. Okay, you need a
Oh,
Christian to come to your door.
I agree with
But
Svat.
yeah,
I
no.
would invite Satan. He's the most interesting one.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I wouldn't invite probably just any of the demons. They seem a bit they're scary. Might kill me. I might be the one being eaten instead of like having.
Yeah, but you would eat dinner with Satan, but you wouldn't invite the demons, even though he's the
But
like the
Satan,
god of
Satan
demons.
has
Satan's a rational
standards.
actor.
Satan's not gonna eat me. I'm not a threat, you know. He doesn't even, like for most of the anime, doesn't even know that he has the power to do that.
What is going on? So, okay.
But you know, he's got his
Do you know?
Lamborghini.
Do I need to give you a Bible and to explain what Satan and what Satan is and what he does?
No, not
He
Satan
made
in
Eve.
general. I wouldn't
He made
invite
Eve.
this
He made
Depending
Eve
on-
eat the apple. All right. We would have been in the Garden of Eden if he didn't convince Eve to eat that apple. All right.
Yeah, but he didn't kill her.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and she
All
had
right.
the apple, so she it's probably a tasty apple.
And he didn't make Eve do anything. He just told her.
Yeah.
He just
Why
talked
is
to
he
her. And
telling?
she was a dumb bitch. That's on her.
He's a
She was
snitch.
caught slipping. That's not Satan's
He was.
fault.
He's a snake. Literally, he was literally a snake. All right.
Okay, don't be speciesist.
Okay. Y'all need Jesus. Okay. Thank you, Svat. We're going to church tomorrow, but yeah, thank you. Ray, character you would not invite to dinner, and why?
I would invite the hip hop guy that always wears a hat.
What? So all of them?
I would invite him to dinner.
Wait, it's all the
No.
same-
It's the one that wears the cap. The one with the gold chain. The one that was trying to hit on
Oh,
what's her face? The one that was trying to hit on Miki, the one who gave her the earring, her. I mean him. Who I wouldn't invite to dinner. I don't really know. I wouldn't invite the coach, the track coach, because he's weird.
He's a runner. He's a track star. Okay, nice, calm. Thank you, Ray. Dan, you said you would invite Satan, but who wouldn't you invite?
I think I agree with Spot where I wouldn't invite because when I hear this question, I'm like, who would be the most interesting to sit down and talk to? So I'm like, Satan would be, and I think all the demons wouldn't be because they don't think. Actually, you know who I changed my mind. I would invite Satan and that demon lady. I wouldn't invite. What was the guy demon's name? Like the high ranking one. It was like the high ranking lady demon who was like a bit of a succubus vibes, and then there was that guy she liked.
Ha ha. Well,
Amon.
Amon.
It wasn't.
Amon.
It was Amon, right?
I think it was.
was
I
one that
wouldn't
possessed
invite
Akira.
Amon. I would invite her.
Amon. That's a cool name, Amon.
It is, yeah. Actually, I would give an honorable mention to not inviting Mr. Trump, who was in the anime for a brief moment. So yeah,
Was he?
he would not get an invite. Yes.
Honestly,
sure
that
you-
was
TV for like
wait,
5
changed my
seconds.
Yeah.
I changed my answer. That was the worst moment of the show because that made me be like, oh no.
That's your former president you're talking about, there, mate.
No, he fucking
Show some
sucks.
respect. Show him some
Look,
respect.
I didn't vote for that shit.
Number 45, yeah. Top 10. Top 2 and he's not 2. Am I right?
No.
Okay. All right. I would invite who would I invite?
Jesus?
The rappers. All of them, not just the one. All of them, the rappers, so we could do a freestyle session together. And they'll teach me how to
expensive meal.
Hey man, we'd get McDonald's or something. I'm pretty sure they won't mind. And then Yeah, they can teach me. Teach me some
Teach you how to rap?
lyrics and teach me how to rap and how to dress better. Because they got drip, too much drip.
Oh my God.
So yeah, cool guys. I would like to be friends with them, and I would not invite Satan, because my mother would be very disappointed in me if I was casually chilling with Satan.
Okay, but what if
making
he
dinner.
turns Satan in person? Isn't that the biggest
Satan.
win?
If you turn Satan into a what?
A good person.
Isn't that the point of Satan is that he's supposed to epitomize everything that's wrong with everything?
Well,
with
that's a
humanity.
pretty recent idea of Satan. His like a more historical version of Satan, especially the biblical Satan, is that he's more of the lawyer who's pitted against you in the court of the end of your life.
He's the anti-hero.
No, he's more like the prosecutor, and then like angels and other things are like the jury, God is the judge, and like the point of him is like to argue against you being a good person who's fit for heaven. So he's not like, he doesn't like lie about your life. He's like, you did X, Y, and Z. You're kind of a shit person. That type of vibe.
What version of the Bible have you been reading? Because this sounds pretty interesting.
He's just like that more in the First Testament, or I guess the Old Testament. In the New Testament, and then also alongside the Catholic Church is when he becomes like the figure that we have currently of like the skinny red man with the pitchfork and the tail and the horns.
It's actually pretty interesting.
This is off topic, but actually a lot of the Christian like imaging, like the imagery that they have about celestial bodies is not really how they're depicted in the Bible. Like a lot of that has been inspired by like Greek culture and Greek paintings and stuff like that. Because if you go to the Bible, there's like a thing called a Niflheim, I think, and it's literally just a wheel with a bunch of eyes on it. And
yeah, I've seen that.
There's and cherubims, like they're literally just like they have faces of like animals and stuff like that, with just wings and like eyes all over, like very unappealing things. It's not all just like, oh my god, they look like a person and they have wings, and it's like, no, like they look creepy.
The point of angels is that they were God's failed versions of humanity, so they're supposed to be terrifying. That's why anytime someone sees them in the Bible, they're literally like, this person lost their shit. Or the angel's first words are, don't be afraid because I'm scary.
That does make sense. That's learning so much today.
Like it's only when people start it's only like Ray was saying, when they start putting like a lot of Roman and Greek ideas into things, where like the Romans and Greeks had ideas that the more beautiful you were, the closer or more favored you were by the gods. So a lot of the Catholic Church imagery, especially after the Renaissance, borrowed that and was like, well, what is closer to God than an angel? Therefore, angels must be very aesthetically pleasing to us. But like biblical angels did not fall under that model.
Nice. Yeah, well, I mean, that does make sense. The Bible is probably one of the most manipulated pieces of religious text out there ever. It was kind of molded to fit a lot of different people's agendas, especially people who are in power, like kings and stuff. So that does make sense.
I mean, the Bible was manipulated as it was being written. There are lots of chapters in the Bibles where, like, when you look it up, it's like this one page was written by 7 different people.
But those were some good writers, though. That book slaps. You can give it, even if you don't want to believe in it. The Bible does slap. As a story, as a collection of stories?
There are better collections.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, I don't want to be struck by lightning. Okay, no, we gotta Dude, we gotta shoot through these because we're talking so long that Levi had to go because Levi has to leave on 11 on the dot because I think he has a school thing.
I think Levi
But
left.
yeah, no, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usually has to leave on 11 on the dot because of a school thing. But it's calm. No worries, no worries. We're almost done anyway. Just, would this have worked better as a movie?
I think it
Yeah.
might have, because they might have paced it better.
True. Yeah, maybe. I think so, maybe because it feels, especially towards the end, like 'cause it's so rushed. I mean, if you're gonna kind of, yeah, it's a weird one. It's a sticky one,
Especially
as we say
considering
in
they
the
spent
UK.
so much time on the sports anime stuff at the beginning. It's like, we didn't need to spend all that time if you were going to rush things.
So, what would you have focused on if it was a movie? Like,
Well,
what's
I
the main?
think if I was making this into a movie, like the sports anime stuff is just gets condensed to like maybe a couple of minutes, just to establish who the characters are, who the players are, get their meet scene, get basically use the sports anime to just get to the club scene. And so that we see him as Devilman Crybaby by like the half hour, 45-minute mark, assuming this is like a 2-hour movie. And then
Golly.
like the last solid 45 minutes would be what like the last few episodes are.
I mean, that's decent. Fair enough. What thoughts that? Since you actually like the ending.
No, yeah, I agree. It's not sure if it would have worked better. I mean, probably. It's hard to tell. I do think that it would have helped with the whole like having like 6, 7 episodes of it being a sports anime. Like they just wouldn't have had time to conclude that. Yeah, the more like focus there would be on the end or like the lead up to the end, the better, if you will. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it could have worked better. To be honest, I think yeah, I think this could have been a really really good movie actually if they just if they weren't gonna put a huge focusing on the characters and making this a character study and just made it about the event and the themes and the ideas. I think it could have worked. They could cut out a bunch of stuff, maybe not introduce so many characters and just focus on Akira and his relationship with Rio and Mickey and just really focus on that part and then really just start building up to towards the end and obviously how dedicating a bit more time to how he became Devilman Crybaby and why he's become this and why Rio has this plan and why he wants to do this and stuff like that and just I think yeah it could have worked. I think as a movie, like having that build up, like something's coming, this is all leading up to something huge, and I think with the right writing and directing, it could have been one of those movies that really has you on the edge of your seat, like okay, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And then towards the end, you have this big fantastical ending, and then it's like I don't know what the word is, catharsis, whatever. So
I think it's more of like release.
Yeah. So yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's just like yes, here it is, and I knew it was coming, but I'm glad it came.
Climax.
Yeah, climb. There you go, and a good old climax. So
I think
kind of like
the
end of. Yeah, go on.
I think this is I agree with you because I think because show and that each segment is like I guess what like 20, 25 minutes. You sort of know, okay, here's the start, here's the middle, here's the end. And that kind of you can kind of it's like when you watch a movie and you see the bad guy gets defeated, but there's still like 45 minutes of the movie left. You're like, well, that's obviously not the actual ending.
Yeah.
I think when it's a TV show, you're like, okay, well, this is the ending to 5 episodes left. And it kind of takes away the ability for the story to like fake out or like trick you or really do anything. But with a movie, I think this type of story would have done better with the fake out ending.
Yeah.
Of like, no, everyone dies. That's the end of the movie. I think that makes it a lot more shocking.
True. Yeah, I think it could have definitely gone down like maybe like an end of Evangelion route. I think if they had followed that model, maybe not exactly, but just that model, I think End of Evangelion really works very well as a movie, which a lot of people might have been surprised at. Well, I was surprised at because I'm so used to it. I was so used to it being in a series, but Yeah, I think the way they did it in the End of Evangelion was really well done. I think Devilman could have done the same thing, maybe with a bit more time as well. So, yeah, I do think it could have been better as a movie, especially if they made the decisions that they did for the series. If they took those decisions, condensed it a bit more, could have been something a bit more special. But alas, we didn't get that, so we move on. That's not the timeline that we were birthed in, unfortunately. That's for people in another timeline. Unlucky, guys. Ray, I don't even know if you're still here.
I'm here.
No, I was just checking. Do you have any thoughts on that before we move on?
No, I think we covered a lot, to be honest.
Calm.
Yeah, I don't have much thoughts. Like,
Yeah, that's calm. Just thought I'd check. Was soundtrack? How was the soundtrack? It was lit, wasn't it? Too lit.
that was the soundtrack?
Oh my god, the disrespect. Yes, that was the soundtrack, yes.
No, it's a good soundtrack. It adds to the atmosphere.
Yeah. Got a bit of techno in there, got a bit of dramatic orchestral moments. Got some nice hip hop in there. Yeah. Good balance.
Thank you.
Ray's ordering in a drive-through.
But
Thought
it's actually
I wouldn't notice. Thought I wouldn't notice.
I was like,
Guys,
how long is it gonna take for
I
anyone
got
to know?
hungry. Like, I got hungry, so I was like, man, fuck this shit. I'm gonna get some McDonald's. And I got some McDonald's.
And I mentioned
Fucking,
McDonald's. See, planting seeds.
What did you order?
Seeds.
I just got a cheeseburger and a Coke. That's it.
A cheeseburger.
Nice.
You're gonna get French fries.
No, I don't really like McDonald's French fries. Like, they get cold
my
so
god.
fast.
That's the
What?
only thing they're good for.
I've never heard anybody say they don't like McDonald's French fries.
Honestly, I don't.
I've heard people say they like other French fries better, but not like they just straight up don't like.
Okay, so the French fries that I think are better than McDonald's are I think I like Checkers French fries better than McDonald's. But honestly, Checkers, I feel like Checkers, like every time I go to one, I'm pretty positive that they have roaches the size of my toe fucking crawling through their kitchen. So nah. I don't do.
Who goes to a Checkers for safety standards? Come on.
I don't even know what a Checkers is.
You might know it as Raleigh. Oh wait, no, you're in the UK. Never mind.
Yeah. Stay with me, mate. Okay. Anyway, enough about French fries. Would we want to live in this world?
No, everyone dies.
No.
Svar was actually thinking about it too. What's wrong with you?
No. I thought if I was a Devilman,
a demon,
but then I thought, no, I still die. So no.
Yeah, you die regardless. Fun times. Okay, calm. Okay, awards. Let's shoot through these. Dan, who's the best character?
Satan's the best character.
Satan's the best character. Okay, Ray, who's the best character?
Satan.
Oh my god, what the hell, man? Svat.
Yeah, it has to be the big homie Satan.
Satan. Okay, whatever. It doesn't even matter what I say at this point. Okay.
Still left to answer there. Still left to answer. The ballot needs to be
submitted. I don't know, Mickey.
No.
Okay, you're just haters. So whatever. Besmirching the Polnareff Award name. Damn, man. Okay, Moomin Rider, most underrated character, Svat.
Well, we have the in the previous awards we have Cocoon, one of the rappers.
Yes, I agree. I stand this.
But yeah, I agree with that.
Cocoon,
My pick
yeah.
then, it will be my pick now.
Yeah, Ray, who's the most underrated character?
I would say the kid, because I wasn't expecting that scene to hit me as hard as it did.
Man ate his mother, man. What's wrong with you?
qualify.
Well, you agree, Dan?
The kid should have ate his mom.
No, that he's the most underrated character. It's okay to say no, mate.
I'm trying to think of a character who I'm like, I don't think any of them are underrated because I just don't rate them very well.
Cocoon.
I can't remember Cocoon.
Oh, the disrespect just doesn't stop. Whatever. Cocoon wins anyway.
I'm not the show's passing underrated. I don't feel like it was used correctly, to be honest.
What? You don't know what wasn't used correctly?
I don't know if anyone else saw this, but at the beginning they kind of had it set up like there was gonna be Satan, and Satan had like a posse of like. It was kind of framing it as like these were gonna be the posse of bosses, of mini bosses you had to beat before you got to Satan.
Yeah, but that's
And
called subverting your expectations.
Yeah, but it just wasn't interesting. It just felt like, oh, you just wasted my time with these people.
Oh, okay.
I do agree. They introduced them. I thought they would add like some more backstory to them, and they're just like, nah, we're not gonna do that. And I was like, okay.
And they didn't even add backstory like when they were doing the general like prehistoric backstory. I thought they would have had a use there. But like when you have characters like these with names that they have, it's like, oh, these characters must have interacted with humanity in some way for humanity to have given them these names. And then, like they just didn't go into it.
All I gotta say to you is, how many of you have rapped to your crush before? None, right? That's my point. Shut you all up.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
I've passed out in front of my crush before. Pretend passed out. Pretend, not real passed out.
Well,
Oh,
we
God.
just see what they would do.
I don't know what I was thinking. To this day, I was 10 years old. She told me something like something shocking, and I wanted to act as
As shocked
surprised as possible. Yeah, as shocked
Yeah.
as possible. So I pretend fainted, and I think she just walked away. And it was in front of people too.
What? Well,
Nice.
walked away. That's a cold reaction.
Well, she knew it wasn't real, but there was literally no reaction.
Oh, so
Maybe
it's
she
bad
didn't
acting.
see. Maybe she didn't see. Maybe she looked away before I did it.
Aye.
That's surprisingly little reaction from everybody. Actually, what if I actually passed out?
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't rate me. Oh well, that's depressing. Anyway, most useless character. Wait, who won this before?
Before it was the rappers aside from Cocoon, which
Oh,
I didn't agree with. I thought that was disrespectful. But yeah, mine would be
the army.
The army. Oh yeah,
The army. All they did was nuke everything and kill more people.
Yeah, that they just kind of like, let's just shoot at these obviously, kind of a celestial being. Yeah, let's just shoot at the big ass devil in the sky. That way I'll get him. Someone guy with a machine gun there. I'll be the one. Come on now.
Yeah, that was kind of
be more
silly.
inventive. Yeah, be more inventive. Come on, like it's just wasting resources.
Yeah, it has to be the army.
Especially if you're a small country and you have like 2 nukes, and then like you've spent all this time making the 2 nukes, and then you just use them to just shoot at the devil in the sky, and you're like, fuck, no wasted. Yeah, I just feel bad.
Nice. Yeah, no arguments there. Anybody got an
Armies
argument?
of the world.
No argument. Calm. Funniest character. Do I have a funniest character? Was anybody particularly funny? Nope. No one Nezuko award.
Let's see. Wow, I like the running, like the way they ran on all fours.
You're gonna give a gesture on a Zuko award.
Yes.
Like a movement.
I don't think this show is unfunny enough to just give it NA. You know, it's not like one of them ones, just incredibly serious.
The dude with the dude who eats the bug.
Oh yeah. I didn't laugh at that, but I was like, hey, good for you.
He's a toad. He's a toad man. Nutritious. Bugs are nutritious, you know. So I've heard. I don't eat bugs, but
I'm sure if you get the
Yeah.
right ones, be nutritious.
Dan,
I agree.
you agree with the bug man?
He's not a bug man. Come on, man. He's just a track coach, a board track coach.
That I don't think Dan's hit. Dan? Nope. Okay. Ray?
Oh, I
You
was gonna.
agree?
Oh, okay.
Mate, go on.
Find anyone to be like funny.
Fair. It's fair enough. It's alright. No worries. Ray? Anybody who made you laugh?
No, not really. Maybe the coach eating the bugs and stuff.
Yeah, Toad Man. There you go. Write that down, Svat. Toad Man.
Is that like a character
Toad.
This should be funny.
Eating bugs is just funny to me. Okay. Optional awards. Kenji Award, no. Johan Award, Psycho Award. I think there's too many psychos in this to just give it to one person. Regio Kyrian Award.
Suspect
Sus award.
activity. Yes.
Sus, yeah, but who do you give it to? There's a
The
lot of
interior
sus.
designer guy.
The,
There you go.
the interior designer, yes. Yeah, I second that, yeah. Dan, I assume you'd wait, no, I think Levi would third that.
We'll give
he said
interior
it.
designers as
Oh,
the sus award. It's
mate.
really, like they okayed that. This be like someone was like, why do you need to
not
have
all
it
of
one
the
way?
interior designers, just that particular one.
So they need to do an investigation.
Mate, the interior designers are gonna come in your DMs, mate, saying, "Listen here, mate, giving us a bad rep, giving us the sus award. We don't want this award. We're gonna send it back. Where do we ship it back to?"
Well, there'd be no from address. Scribble it out.
Poor interior designers. Okay. All right. Ratings. I give it a 7.1 out of 10 and a 3.5 out of 5 rewatchability. Dan, ratings, please.
4 out of 10.
Yeah.
2 out of 5.
Yeah. Okay, Ray, your ratings, please.
7 out of 10. 4 out of 5.
Nice. And Svat.
Mine will be a 7.25 out of 10 overall and a 4 out of 5 rewatchability. I do think it is quite rewatchable. Just because it's so short.
Yeah. Nice.
And,
Yeah. Levi gave it a 7. A 1.5 out of 5 for rewatchability. Wow.
He hated this. Damn.
He doesn't want to watch this again. And Anderson gave it 8.25 and a 3.5 for watchability. So
this rating is gonna jump down, I think, now from 7.3. Probably go to like a low 6.
Oh man, it's a shame. Kind of shame. Maybe if Minnie and Mussolini were here, but they'll probably just make it lower. Okay. Oh well. Well, that was Devilman. That was
Crybaby.
Devilman. Yeah, Devilman Crybaby. Thank you guys for showing up, for being here, for taking the time to be here. Thank you to our 6 or maybe 7 viewers now, for bearing with us. Got off to a rocky start with the internet. Anderson had to bounce, Levi had to bounce, but we got there in the end. Got there in the end. So yeah, man, just yeah, it was good. It was good. So thank you guys, and talk to you guys later. And we are out.